Hey Virgo. It's Cancer season, and you already feel like it's your season, or it feels like there's pressure on you as if it is your season. And when the pressure releases, you will find a diamond, especially this month. There is a specific curvature Cancer season is mapping for you. That's the word. Like the mapping of the stars. And it's seeing how you work with yourself in the sense of tradition, how you've handled tradition, how you're handling tradition, but also bringing your own flair into it. This is also about looking at the family structure, and looking at where whatever you haven't been able to look at is going to come back around and show its face to you. Because it's having the last of the roots of the, not the issue, but the focus, where your focus has been, is where your focus actually wasn't. So wherever the opposing nature of whatever you have been focusing on within yourself or within a family structure, you're now getting to see the blind spot where you have been ignoring. Whether it was on purpose or not, it doesn't matter. Cancer season right from the start is going to show it to you. And it's then up to you how much of your time and energy you're going to spend in that space. Cancer season can have you stay there all season, or you can choose to take it for what it is, accept it, and move on. Every time it comes up, take it for what it is, accept it, and move on. Because of the roots, it may feel two things can happen. You can experience a complete release. A complete release of this this part of you that can see yourself as not whole, broken. You're not. That part of you and that part of your nature that's always just, and then there's parts of you that are very calm. It's that exposure of that when you get so close to the light, eventually you just see like the moving particles. When like the hermit is holding the lantern, when you get so close to water, you see how it's just this moving flow in motion. That when you are taking a step back, it's very Aquarius-like, very Taurian as well. When you're taking a step back from the thing that you've been so close to, you've realized that it's always been this way. So whatever you're breaking free of at this point, bottom of the deck is the Ace of Swords, Two of Cups, Two of Swords. What you're breaking away from is this long, this very ingrained thing that that anything you commit to, you then need to forget about yourself. You're learning more about where you're extreme this month, and where you can learn from those extremes and use them to their like learn to use them to their highest potential even. And it could be clear, clean cut. It's very, what's happening with Capricorn too is that they're breaking free. It's different, but the way that you feel can be very Capricorn. Like if there's a Capricorn in your life, they're very helpful to show you this. And it's not in a way that's aggressive. It's a very equal relationship that is helping you see where this part of you has been committed to keeping yourself hidden, and you were never able to hide anyway, but there's this part of yourself that has needed something specific, and now you're getting it. And this connection that you have is really important to how you lay out what it is that you want to put in place of the structures, the family structure, where you've put importance, what you've claimed to be important, where you've allowed yourself to shine as opposed to where you haven't allowed yourself to shine yet, even though you do already shine in that place where you want to tend to this energy now, because there's so much good that's happening there's so much being shaped that you can't see yet because you're in this very watery substance. You're so close to the exposure. So take a step back. This one's about taking a step back from maybe a lot more something that you can be something, the thing that, if there's something that's keeping you stuck in the same pattern, you're not able to see it because it's something that you find to be fun or give you instant gratification. And by observing and taking a seat back and being in high priestess mode, you see that that's what's kept you there. And that addressing that quickly, very easeful, very swiftly as it can be, very you, it doesn't feel so hard anymore. So this month is going to give you a relief, but in the beginning it's going to be it's the pressure. So it's going to be that pressure. I don't know if you ever had cupping done, but if you ever have cupping done, there's this pressure that the cups do depending on how many pulls. So the pulls makes the suction tighter to your body. So when you have multiple, even if one of them, depending on like how much you have, whatever you do, no matter what, you're going to feel this intense pressure at first, and you have to breathe with it. And the release is incredible. It helps your circulation too. So this is about circulation. So circulation also, in other ways, is very representative of the emotions and regulating your emotions. So this is also, if you're a Virgo who has had so many ups and downs or so many highs and lows throughout your entire life, or feeling things and numbing out, which is very Virgo-like, which can be very Virgo-like. Whenever you started to numb, and if you haven't helped release that part of yourself yet, that is still blocking the circulation for the complete emotional wave. So this month you're going to feel these different waves of emotion run through you in a way that's so much more easy than it's ever has been. And it's going to clear up any doubts or concerns you've had, or restraints that you've had in relationships or commitments. If you're in a relationship or you're wanting more with a Taurus or an Aquarius, it's just extremely important to be open and honest about everything that you're going through and how much energy you can put it, and just even being upfront about your insecurities. And upfront about what you need, and especially your needs That's really important, being very upfront and clear about it. If there is a job that wants more from you than what you can give, you need to work something out, because this is going to help continue you to commit to that, instead of deciding commitment means I'm stuck, or engaging with something means that it has to have a long-term plan. You want to think long-term right now, of course, especially in how you're building your life, where you're putting your energy. So be honest about what you can give in every situation in your life. And then when you take a step back, you realize that even though when something has felt good in the moment, overall, it's never been good for you. And it's just it's the root of a lot of different things. On the other side of that, and through that, you're then able to care more about your body as well. Venus is going to enter Virgo at the end of Cancer season, so right as we start to enter Leo season. So Leo season and Mars then will enter Virgo as well a few days later. So for you, and then full moon in Aquarius, so the Aquarius card. So this season is about whatever needing to come to the surface. It's very superficial, but it's very deep at the same time, because even if someone has all these amazing qualities, they seem flawless. There's always that opposing nature of there's a small thing that can be a flaw, but it ends up blown out of proportion because of the flawlessness, or the depiction of, or the perception of that, when really it's just a small thing. So when you realize what's kept you stuck, know that it's just a small thing. It's not that big a deal. It's being exposed just so that things can shift and change, and that it could feel like things are crumbling. It's only for Leo season to come in and be like, hey, it's just time to do this real quick. Especially when Leo goes into Venus. It's not that crazy. Be easy on yourself. Free yourself from that, if anything. Cancer season has a lot for you and a lot of nurturing for you, but more clear. The waters are becoming clearer. So, yeah, very swift. Yeah. We'll look at the cards. Information to work with me will be below. And if you like this painting, it was made by a Cancer, actually. And her Instagram link, Jessica Daly Art, will be below, as well as all of my links below to work with me. Like I said, the extended reading link will be up on Patreon as well, where we go deeper into this. I know that was quick, and Cancer season just kind of had it very clear for you. I kind of resisted this, but I knew why, because it needed to come out today, where I felt, because the transition was interesting. So just remember, it's the little things. That's all. All right, I love you. We'll look at the cards, and I'll see you next month, Virgo. Hi, Virgo. I like this lighting, so I hope you can see this all right. It's interesting because doing the second part of the Aquarius reading, and also the sounds around me, I live in a city-like area, if you hear those noises. So the Aquarius video was, the first card out was the Hermit. And going into it in the second part, I call them you, them. So Aquarius coming up really strong for you right now. There's this very underlying theme of you really needing to be yourself. And sometimes you get caught between these two people, but you don't have to. And this month and this time and this moment, and this could be by the time by the time this is out, it'll be the day before the full activation of the full moon, because the sign goes in, it's in there for like 2 whole days, but like 1.5 to 1.5 days. And there's whatever's been hiding in your subconscious is going to come to the forefront, and then throughout the month it will be working its way through your life, but it's going to be a lot easier than you thought. I think that what you do in terms of self-preservation sometimes is that eventually that small thing is going to shift everything. So it's like you're consciously preparing yourself. So anyone in your life right now that you need to say like, hey, I need to do me right now, I need to figure out some things, or I need to get really clear on what all that is coming up from me, from family, what you think about tradition, what you think about going to school, all of these things that you are really good at naturally, the intelligence. What's happening is, or it seems to be happening here, is that it's finally being revealed to you in this way that you always think it's going to be a lot worse than it is. And if you play it out like that, it gets harder for you. But if you finally accept the ease of it and just take whatever's showing up for what it is, then it's a lot easier. And that's something that Capricorns are really good at. So, and also Tauruses too, when they're shown the thing, Taurus already knows though. And so do you. But you'll run away from it, trying to fix it through all the other ways, except for it can only be addressed in this one way. And it's become very clear to you that, or some of you, that that's what's really important, is to get yourself right about, and to clear yourself of any like psyche, anything that's been murky in your psyche, because that's what all this is for. That's it. And it only help you be better because you need that. That's your body, that's your movement. Like, taking care of your body is so important. So if you need a lot of water right now, I'm being so drawn to the water in this. So if you're being drawn to water and cleansing or fasting or doing something of that sort, do it. Do it. And also, if there's anyone that's like in your life that is unwilling to respect what you need, it's not about you, it's about them. You know that, but right now you need to hear it. I'm guessing what this does is that it makes whatever you're gonna be grieving feel less heavy very quickly, because it comes in really quickly, this message, whatever's happening for you. And or this subconscious, what the thing that's showing up about what you like, you're trying to grow in a certain area, but you can't without this. You can't. But I honestly don't think that you knew too clearly what it was. I think it was like, it seems to be like an elimination of many different things. And once you see it, it becomes a lot smaller, a lot easier to break free from, a lot more, you're so much more able to commit to yourself, because you really see clearly what's been missing. And again, you're going to be asked to say no to certain things that used to be like no problem saying yes to. You know, there's people, it seems as though people are around, but they are going to respect what you need. And just know that if you need to take more time to see things through and really commit to this process, because you know if you jump into anything else or you give anyone else your attention right now, it's not going to go good for you. It's this all over again. It's going to be like, okay, sure, I said it, but what are you going to do about it? And it needs to be done right away, and you understand that and you know that now. And it's going to release what's ever been feeling stuck. It's going to feel so much easier to live and do this without going here, without going overboard, because your mind can't handle it anymore either. It's your body and your mind. It needs this from you. And it's crazy, like, I even have to say that sometimes, but like with Virgo, you, like, I love you so much, and you just have to give it to your body. You have to give it what it needs. You need to give your brain what it needs, and it might need a break from so many things. And it turns out that it needs a break from you. It needs you to put it to rest. And the Capricorn full moon will literally ask you, like, you need to put this thing to rest. Are you ready to take the sword? If you're ready, do it. Commit to it. Commit to the freedom that you can have. It's very simple, and I know it's interesting because, like, I feel like you when I'm saying this. I have a Virgo moon. And I love Virgo so much that I just want you to, like, it's like the same things I say to Capricorn sometimes, like, you're perfect. You're perfect the way you are. And Cancer season will show you the things, the flaws that actually just make you you. So I was going to start the extended. We'll go right into the extended. Leo season is going to be where it all starts to make sense. But for right now, it is... I'm sorry if it sounded like I was yelling at you. I didn't. I'm not meaning to yell. But I know that you don't mind a good sharp word here and there. Hold on. I was gonna cut the coughing out, but I didn't because I actually feel like it goes along with all of this. It's the little things that need to be noticed. Like, anyone who has a cough doesn't notice it. It's just something that they do. It's people who don't have a cough that notice the people with the cough. Pay attention to the little things, the smallest thing, the thread. I love you so much. I will see you next month, and I'll get right into the extended where I clarify all of this even more. Bye, Virgo.